and stuff, but this is a demo account. I'm going back a few months so I can show you real-time things that are happening so that you can see this product in action. Because it's not just about getting out of debt. What you'll see here is that you can use this program for the value of what it's really designed for. And it's for you to really understand the cause and the effect of every decision you'll ever have to make, and never be alone. Really make the right decision for your future, for your family's future, for your legacy. It really makes a difference for people, okay? So here we are. This is your action plan, okay? I'll go through this in a second, but this is your budget tab. This is John and Rebecca Jones, right? Everyone likes to keep up with the Joneses. But here's the budget tab, okay? What I like about this is, and I'm gonna slow it. Awesome. So here's the budget tab. This is John and Rebecca Jones. Their average month is $5,045. You know, maybe they're commissioned, maybe they're 1099, maybe they're self-employed, or maybe they're W-2. Their average income is $5,045. Their average expenses is $46,42.59, right? And this is some light items. You can itemize this. You know, you can, if anyone follows like that envelope system that's out there, you can absolutely itemize all you want, or you could just put it all in as one. Maybe some of you may like pay most of their expenses every month on a credit card, right? And then you use that money interest-free for 20 days or so and pay it off. A lot of people do that. So you can just say, you know, my credit card, instead of saying everything else. And it could be that 2,000 or whatever it is. But this is your budget, okay? And once again, you can be as specific as you want. And this is like your forecast of what you feel like, yeah, that's roughly on average what we spend on all these things, okay? But it's not your debt. The accounts tab is your checking account, your savings account, any other checking accounts. Maybe you have 2 or 3 business accounts or whatnot, but everything that your cash flow is in there, right? And this is your debts here, okay? So typical, right? Average American, an auto loan, credit card debt, maybe a signature loan, a mortgage. You know, this is normal. Now, John and Rebecca Jones are going to pay off $25,000 auto loan, MasterCard, the signature loan, and a $200,000 loan mortgage in 11.9 years. I want you to look at that, 11.9 years. That's the exact date that they'll be debt-free. You literally know to the penny and to the day you'll be debt-free. And it's constantly showing you the cause and the effect of every single thing you do and how it's going to affect this. This is like your lifeline or your dashboard, right? Really changes people's lives. And this is the interest that you'll save based on the action plan that you're going to follow, right? Really easy to use, really simple to follow. In the action plan, you're going to notice here that this is just there, like John to checking. Well, that's his paycheck, right? That makes sense. So yeah, I got paid today, so I execute it, right? Yeah, this happened, okay? It went into my bank account, execute. Simple, right? And by the way, you can even have this hooked up under the accounts tab. You can have it hooked up. If I go to that really quick, you can have it hooked up. See where it says connect to your account, right? For $15 a month, just know that this will connect to all of your actual accounts, like your checking account, your savings account, all your credit cards. So if you use a credit or debit card, you know, at the gas station or at the grocery store, the registry, just like QuickBooks would or Mint or Quicken, you know, it just hooks up and it's part of the action plan now. You'll see it there. It's easy. It's already in there. That makes life a lot easier, okay? But this is like your registry, if you will, and you just have to execute it and acknowledge that this has happened, right? So that's their normal payments, right? That's Rebecca's paycheck. And as it happens, you just execute it and let the program know what's going on, right? I'm going to turn on this true cost tab so you can see that in action, which is pretty neat. It shows you, for those that are not debts, it shows you using that money, what the true cost of it really is, and how it's affecting you. The one thing you want to see here also, so this is checking to savings or savings to MasterCard. These are extra steps. Whenever you see this squiggly line, these are extra steps in your program. And this is literally showing you that, hey, based on your cash flow you have now and what happened in the future, right? What's going to happen in the future? These are steps at these specific dates that you're going to take money from one account and transfer it to one of your other accounts. And all you have to do is do it, whether it's online, whether you write a check, whatever, you just do it. And it's mathematically saying, hey, if you follow these future steps without affecting your minimum budget, without affecting your cash flow, your lifestyle, if you follow these simple steps, you will be debt-free in 11.9 years, $143,000 in interest savings. That's the exact date. Now, a lot of you are going to say, wait a second, Brian. Life happens all the time. Things come up all the time. Absolutely. Absolutely. What I'm going to show you right now is going to blow your mind. I hope so. Anyway, it did mine, right? So let's just say, this is February here. And my wife and I are married 20 years come July, and we want to go on a really nice, the coronavirus is over. We want to go on a really nice vacation to celebrate 20 years. And I say, hon, yeah, let's go to Greece. Now, what normally happens here is you just do it, right? You say, we'll put it on the credit card, figure it out, maybe try to save up for it. But what if you could actually see how it's going to affect you and your whole entire plan before you even have to do it, right? So here it is, add new action. And I'm going to say in July, because you can program it, I could program this 5 years out, right? I could literally decide I want to do something 5 years, 10 years from now, and I can prepare for it. I could buy a new car in a couple of years. I could put that in, which, you know what, I'll show that as well. So of course, if you're going on vacation, you're going to probably use your MasterCard, right? I'm just going to put Greece because I'm going to take her to Greece. It's our 20-year anniversary. So it is $10,000. You can categorize it. This is so easy to use. This is the vacation fund. It's coming off my credit card, $10,000. We're going to do this in July. So I'm going to say July 5th for the week, right? And look at this. Algorithms are doing their thing. Okay, so I want to show you guys something. The years to pay off just went up. That's my exact payoff date from this. That's the interest savings. That went down like 40,000, I believe, right? Your action plan actually changed. Okay, the extra steps, I didn't write them down. I'm assuming they changed because the whole system is saying, okay, here is your $10,000 that is now programmed for July, right? You're going to use MasterCard. It understands that that is a future thing that's going to happen. And then it shows you that true cost. This is eye-opening for a lot of our clients, myself included. The true cost, if you can read that under there, it's small, $43,752.73. Most people think, it's going to cost us $10,000. I'm putting it on the credit card. Maybe I'll pay some interest because I'm not going to pay it off right away. I understand, but we can afford the payment. We're good. No, this program's saying, well, it's actually costing you almost $45,000. Because by doing that action, you just changed your payoff of your whole entire life, for the debt that you have. Think about that. It's not saying it's going to pay off the credit card in 2.5 years. It's saying now you just affected your whole lifestyle, your whole payoff, and you're going to save, almost $40,000 less in interest. It may make you think really hard about, well, I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Right? Maybe we'll only spend $5,000. Maybe I'll take my wife to Florida for a nice week or something. You really have to understand the cause and the effect of how this actually affects you and your family. This is life-changing. This isn't some Excel spreadsheet or some debt payoff calculator that is very static, right? There's a lot of tools that are budget tools out there. The Money Max account literally changes with your cash flow and shows you how it's going to affect you, not just today, but in the future. And that is one of the most powerful things. So for sake of just like my wife and I talking through it, I know that now. Maybe we decide, let's go back to the drawing board. So I take that out of the formula, click of a button. It's now out. And we're going to talk through that and see how that's going to affect us, right? So it went back down to 11.9. All right. So that being said, and so it was it 13 point? It was almost 2 years, I think, right? So what's cool is another thing to show you is a car, right? So my wife and I, maybe our car is about, it's time we get a new car soon, and we're gonna buy a new minivan. Okay, so I'm gonna put this in to our calculations, and we're about to do this. So I'm gonna add a new account, and it's a loan. And by the way, we haven't done this yet. This is me finding out how this is going to affect our family before we even do it. Okay, and I'll just say it's with Bank of America, right? Who knows? Who cares? And a new minivan is definitely $40,000. And by the way, the car dealership, they gave me a great rate, right? Because and you know what? They made me extend it for 72 months. This is real life, so I'm gonna put that in. And you want to say, car dealership, let's see how this is going to affect us before we even do it, right? So $40,000 loan, 2.9%, 72 months. Yeah, we're going to get it this month. Tell you what, we'll start paying on it next month, right? So it's May of 2020. Sure, May 3rd, May 10th, it's due. That's great, right? We'll even say it's due on the 15th. Great, right? So, yeah, I got to make sure the statement date is accurate. April. Okay. All right. So now I literally can see if this even makes sense for our family to do. Wow. I added 3 more years to our total debt payoff, right? And once again, the interest saved went down. Okay, so I can decide with my wife. We can talk through this. Does it make sense to buy this right now? What if we talk? We say, well, that's if we buy it now. Our car is still running. It's still good. What if we waited 2 years, right? I mean, let's see. It's still a decent car. Is this the right move for our family? So May 22 is now the May 5th, yeah, is now the time to April 22. All right, and so we looked at, well, let's see, look at that, guys, 110, 14.8, and we say, well, can we wait a couple of years? Maybe we can, right? So let's see how that will affect us. Okay, so it took it down from 14.8 to 14.4, right? By the way, our whole time, our entire action plan is completely changing, completely recalculating, completely understanding how everything's going to affect us, not just today, but for the long haul, for how it's affecting us in the future. And it's constantly recalculating the fastest mathematical way to zero debt, right? It's life-changing for people. And so once again, that was 2 years, 14.4, which is about a half a year, right? Because this goes to 14.9 and then 15, right? So it's about a half a year, so 14.8 to 14.4, 6 months of payments for everything, right? That's quite substantial. So 6 months of all these types of payments, roughly, difference. So last thing I'll do, this is how you can use it as a tool, is my wife says, well, that was 2 years. What if we just do it for, a year from now, right? So instead of May 22, we change that to May 21, which means we have to change the statement date to 4/21. And we just want to see, please enter a valid statement date. Must be before 0.4 to 14.5. So look at that, okay? It started at 14.8. And we said, well, what if we wait a little bit, right? And it went to 14.4, and I was waiting 2 years. But only if we just waited 1 year, which is what this shows, it's 14.5. To me and my wife, that probably sounds like a good middle ground, and we can make the right decision, right? So no matter what it is, I mean, some people, last thing I'll show is some people do things like, hey, we want to buy a rental property, right? This is where wealth building can really take effect for you guys and really make a difference. So last thing I'm going to show is, you know what if we got a new mortgage, okay? Because we're getting a new property. It's a mortgage, BOA, I'll just call this rental property, okay? And this is where it really gets fascinating. $200,000 loan, right? 4%, 200,000, 4%, brand new mortgage, right? We know that. And on a $200,000 loan, it's $1199.10. Okay, which you can see here, fully amortized. Okay, we're good to go. All right. Actually, no, that's a 6%. So 954.83. 954.83. There we go. So this is your new mortgage, and you can say, well, let's see how this is going to happen for us, buying this new property, and have to see how that's going to affect us. But then this is awesome to see. It's saying, hey, well, if you don't get any renters in here, you have 30 months. So a lot of times people want to get a rental property, and they freak out if they don't have a renter, right away, or they freak out if someone stopped renting and they have to go find a new renter. This program also shows you whenever this turns red, hey, listen, you do have 30 months before you run out of any funds, right? So it's saying any available funds that are in your part of your steps, part of your budget, part of your accounts, you do have some time. Don't worry, right? 30 months is almost 3 years, okay? But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, well, we didn't get we bought the house, our first mortgage payment's happening, but 3 months from now, we find a renter, okay? And so in 3 months, you have new income that's coming in. And I'm gonna add income. And this is where it's so awesome. Rental income. And you know what? On that kind of home, your rent is probably $1,500 a month. I mean, truly, because it makes sense. So your rental income is not starting till, let's say 3 months, let's say in August, okay? That's even further. April, May, June, July. Yeah, so it's 4 months away. And we can even give it a category. Let's say April 1st it starts. So we can give a category of income. That's fine. And we can change that even if we wanted to rental income right there. You can actually categorize it for yourself, which is phenomenal. And now look at this. Phenomenal. If that doesn't make you excited, I don't know what does. You're going to now own 2 homes, okay? You're going to own free and clear. All this is paid off, the auto loan, the MasterCard, the signature loan, your first mortgage, your rental property. All of this is paid off in less than 15 years. You're going to have 2 homes free and clear. And you can see this in real time. And if you notice, by the way, your action plan completely changed. I want you to look at these funds transfers. Guys, if you don't see the value in that, I don't know. There's nothing else like this. This is life-changing. You're now going to save $226,000 in interest. You're going to be paid off free and clear of 2 homes. You get another rental property, you put it in the rental. If there's times that the rental income doesn't happen, right? It's simple to do. Where's Rebecca's paycheck? That's not the rental income because I told you it wasn't starting till August. But let's say they miss rent a month or 2, or they get out and you haven't had rent. It's not like you got to change everything in the accounts. You just say, hey, this didn't happen, right? You execute it, let's pretend this was the rent, which it's not. It's just her paycheck. But yeah, for this week, or for this month, it didn't happen, right? And that's fine. Oh, for actual income, it's got to be more. So $1, because that wasn't rental income, that was her paycheck. So she probably made a paycheck of some sort. But if that was rental income, you do the same thing. You reduce it down to what it was. If it was 0, you put 0. And it says, okay, it changed a little bit. It changed a little bit, but that's temporary. It knows that in the future, that rental income's coming back, right? And there's so many variables you can do. I'm taking up a lot of time here. I really hope that you see the value in that. And once again, something that did change, which is great to see. I took away that income for that paycheck, and her whole action plan changed again. Because all it ever cares about is it understands what happened, it understands the future, the forecast, the budget. It understands how money does change, meaning income changes, expenses change. This is constantly recalculating the fastest mathematical way to get out of debt. And there's even a whole wealth building side to this that I haven't even gotten into. But I hope that helps. Please get with whoever shared this with you. Of course, I'm available if this is someone that I'm talking with. And I really hope that you see the value in what this can do for you, for your life, for people you know. Share this. This is a very valuable program that is already changing many lives. So take care, and I really hope that helped. Bye-bye now.